Yeah, hi everyone. Hirsch Sai here, reporting from Auckland, and the date is Tuesday, the 20th of February, 2024. And this is a topic that I've mulled over in my head for probably too long, and one which has been there also for quite a while. I've been over it too much, and it's been there for quite a while. But I think it's sort of a topic. Or something which a lot of us have thought about. And I think a lot of us know, whether consciously or even unconsciously. And it's really a model I made myself, which I call the hidden social hierarchy. In everyday life amongst all people, even in professions and just everywhere. The hidden social hierarchy, which is based purely on appearance. And remember, appearance is not just how attractive you are or how unattractive you are. I can certainly relate to that very well. I mean, the second one. But so it's not just how attractive you are, but it's also just everything you are, which shows in your appearance. So that's also your age, your gender, your ethnicity, whether you're thin or overweight or obese, whether you're tall or a very big person or a not so big person. Again, I can relate to that. And yeah, it's just all of that about you, and the what I called as the hidden social hierarchy. Hidden because I don't think we really talk about it much, but really it's kind of there and it's really quite obvious. And I think many of us know our place in it. Again, we might know about it consciously or subconsciously, but we do sort of know our place in it. And basically, if you imagine that social hierarchy based purely on appearance, would pretty much be, say, at the top, you would have of course, your drop dead gorgeous blonde woman, who is thin, in her primes, aged between 20 and 30, basically in her 30s, or I guess perhaps aged between 18 to 30, and she's virtually perfect physically, basically a Barbie doll. And so you sort of go down, and below her it's maybe the same sort of person, but the redhead, then the brunette, then maybe the sort of Asian girl, and then the Asian woman, and then the black woman. But it's also not just the color of the skin and color of the hair and the ethnicity, but it's also again, how attractive they are, regardless of their ethnicity, and the color of their skin and hair, how attractive they are, how tall they are, how big or overweight they are, um, those things as well. So it's not completely specific, but it's more or less, if you like, this hierarchy or this ladder is about sort of really, I'll say about 20 rungs in all, about that, maybe 20 to 30 rungs. Anyone can always break it down and even argue what those individual rungs are, but it more or less comes down to this. At the top, you've got your white woman, again, in order of, most attractive to least attractive or less attractive. You've got your white woman, then basically you could say your white man, or some might even say your black woman. So say white woman, black woman, white man, and at the bottom, black man, with that the person at the top, of course, being that drop dead gorgeous blonde, and I guess that the person at the bottom, you guessed it, and unfortunately, quite sadly, probably your overweight, unattractive, say, African man, or black man, with very dark skin, and yeah, unattractive, overweight. And of course, if he's like that, it might not be his fault that he's like that. He's born with that skin color. He's born, um, with that skin color, that hair color. Even he's born with this look, even if it's not very attractive, and even his weight, because as you know, a lot of it can actually be inherited. I remember seeing on a documentary, it said that if both your parents are fat, there's over 90% chance that you will be fat, and it's very unfortunate, is it? And I suspect, of course, I'm no nurse, doctor, or scientist in the area, but I would suspect that when you look at all the people out there, those who are fat or overweight, even those who are obese, I would actually suspect that probably about half of them, it's not even their fault. It's genes, a little bit like what I spoke about in that other video about what determines your health and longevity. And of course, there's your diet and exercise, but there's a host of other things, including your genes. And yes, it's very true. Some people do have extra weight because of their genes, and some people, and vice versa, some people have less weight because of their genes, and they'll probably attribute it to themselves, but really it's genetic. So, but coming back to this hidden social hierarchy based purely on appearance, and of course, we've all heard of situations, both real and fictional, when it can benefit people or not benefit people. Like, if it's a court case and there's a judge, and let's say, if you like, if it's a colored man who's overweight, who's not very attractive, versus a white woman who is very attractive, of the perfect weight, of the perfect age, in her prime, say in her 20s, and say he's actually the one who's a bit more on the right. But the audience, the jury, and the judge even might side with her just because of her overall physical appearance. She looks like a lovely person. She looks like she wouldn't harm hurt a fly. And they have done even tests on that. I remember seeing in one documentary a very attractive woman. They made her fiddle with her luggage in a train station, if I remember correctly, and basically fiddling with it as if she can't lift it up or if she needs help with her luggage. And someone approached her in less than 10 seconds because she's so attractive. And they did tests on there. That person was it was a man, but he was happy to help her and stay by her side and just give her whatever she needed, take her out, even give her money if she really needed money, say to catch a train or whatever. And then they did the same test with a very unattractive woman. And if I remember correctly, it was over a minute. And I think it was close to a minute and 10 seconds before someone helped her. Even though I'm sure a lot of people saw her struggling with her luggage. So, less than 10 seconds for a very attractive woman before someone helped her when she was having trouble with her luggage. About a minute and 10 seconds or over a minute for a unattractive woman. And again, unless we, as I mentioned before, the same thing can happen in court cases. Even people that, yes, they will judge others on their appearance, at least to an extent, regardless of, what sort of person they are, what achievements they have under their belt, what they've done. And, it can really happen, like, say, if people are choosing, say, the consequence or the punishment for a certain person if they have committed a crime or done something wrong or done something illegal. It's interesting. Usually, if the person does not look so bad or so unattractive or dangerous, what have you, they will tend to get, less of a punishment or a sentence than someone who perhaps is not so attractive, who does perhaps just happen to look a bit, bad, bad again in quotes, or a bit more sort of dangerous. And again, that's just they look, doesn't mean they are, of course. Someone, yeah, who doesn't appear to be a very sort of safe person to be around, or perhaps even resembles a sort of stereotype which we may associate with someone who is more likely to say commit a crime or misbehave or anything like that. So it's very interesting, and so that's what I call the hidden social hierarchy based purely on appearance, not just how attractive you are, but your ethnicity, color of your skin and hair, how tall you are, your weight. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned before, or I've definitely touched on it, your age, all those things. And it's basically that, I guess, and more or less, white woman, black woman, white man, black man. And again, I think we all know, or many of us certainly do know, where we fit in that hierarchy. And of course, the higher up you are in that hierarchy, the better off you're likely to be. It can be an advantage in so many ways. It can get you out of trouble. It can get you help. It can get you a job. It can get you friends. It can get you partners. Certainly more easily than if you were lower in the hierarchy. But I guess that's one of those things that's part of life. But I just thought I'd sort of put it, put it out there because again, I think it's not always touched on. A lot of us probably think about it. A lot of us probably know where we fit within that hierarchy, but it's really something to just hear it, just to have it spat out and to have it said in front of you. It really is something to just, put it in, well, maybe not writing, but to put it in words. And I guess to those of you who do tend to be higher up in the hierarchy, again, I can definitely not relate to that. But for those of you who are higher up in the hierarchy, well, congratulations, you are very lucky. And if I could ask anything, is just be considerate of those who are perhaps not as fortunate as you are, those who are further below in the hierarchy. If anything, use your looks, your attractiveness, your beauty use it for good. If it gets you jobs or whatever, if it gets you a partner more easily than otherwise, well, that's great. But yeah, use it for good. Don't always sort of use it to your sort of advantages to get ahead yourself. But if you can use it for good. If they can get you, like, say, a modeling job or an acting job very well, and if you end up getting paid very well for it, well, that's great. Maybe consider, donating a fraction of what you earn to a good cause, perhaps help out those less fortunate than you, or just whatever. Use it to your advantage to get to benefit you. I think that's fine. I think most people would do that in that case. But try to help others, or the environment, or animals, or children, or whatever. Try to help others whenever you can. And my advice to those who are below in the hierarchy, hey, of course, it's not always so easy when you're below in that hierarchy. And I know this is much easier said than done, but remember, it's not everything. It's not everything. What you are, what you do have, or who you are, maybe somehow use that to your advantage. We've heard of, say, ugly movie stars, or we've heard of some people who look so much like a villain that they play a great villain, for example. Or if you're sort of a bigger person, again, use that to your advantage. Maybe it can help you with getting certain jobs, whether it's a security guard or a police officer, bodyguard, whatever. So even if you're lower down, remember, it's not everything. You've still got what's in here, which is, of course, the absolute most important. Your brain really is your sexiest organ. Remember, it's not everything. Still try to take advantage of what you do have or what you don't have, and yeah, use it as much as you can. And yeah, I guess, if anything, it'll encourage you to use your brain more, and hey, remember, we're not all dealt equal cards, but whatever we are dealt with, you have to make the most of that and go as far as possible as you can with that. So that is definitely something to keep in mind, no matter where you are in this hierarchy, no matter what you have, no matter where you are in life, just do as much as you can with what you've been given, the time you've been given, to achieve as much as possible for you and hopefully for others. Thank you.